This video shows you how to solve and create fraction word problems. And we're using the same ideas that you've learned before, but applying them to word problems. Remember, most of these word problems are going to take multiple steps in order to solve, but once you break it down into those steps, you should do fine. Let's look at the first problem. Kim and Courtney share a 16-ounce box of cereal. By the end of the week, Kim has eaten 3/8 of the box, and Courtney has eaten 1/4 of the box. What fraction of the box is left? Now, when I do this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a tape diagram, because that helps me. What I'm going to say is this is 16 ounces and represents my box of cereal. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it into 3 sections. The first section is what Kim ate, and that is 3/8 of the box. And then Courtney ate 1/4 of the box. And I'm trying to find out how much is left. Now, what I can do is add these together, 3/8 plus 1/4. And what I need to do first is give it a common denominator. And to do that, 1/4, I'm going to multiply by 2/2 to get 2/8. So then I am solving 3/8 plus 2/8, which is 5/8. And that tells me how much is here. That's how much has been eaten. Now remember, it's 5/8 of 16 ounces. Now I can say that 5/8 of 16 ounces have been eaten, or I can say 3/8 of 16 ounces remain. And I'm going to do 3/8 times 16 ounces because I'm looking for what is left. And actually what I've already done here is I said that 3/8 remain, and that tells me what fraction is left. But I want to take it one step farther, and I want to see how many ounces are left. So when I come back down to the problem here, 3/8 times 16 ounces, I'm going to simplify, and I am going to say 8 goes into 16 twice, 8 goes into 8 once, 3 times 2 tells me that I have 6 ounces remaining. Let's try another problem. Lakshmi has 20 pints of green paint and uses 2/5 of it to paint a landscape and 3/10 to paint a clover. She decides her next painting will need 14 pints of paint. How much does she need to buy? Now it's important to note that when we say 2/5 of it and 3/10, we're actually saying 2/5 of 20 pints. Because if we just said 2/5, we're talking about 2/5 of 1 pint, but really it's 2/5 of 20 pints. Now when I solve this, I find that 2/5 of 20 pints is 8 pints. What I did here is I did 2/5 times 20, but I cross-simplified, showing that 5 goes into 20 4 times. 5 goes into 5 once. 2 times 4 is my 8. For 3/10 of 20 pints, I write my 3/10 times 20. Again, I cross-simplify. 10 goes into 20 twice, and 10 goes into 10 once, which gives me 3 times 2, which is 6 pints. If I combine these two, I find that I have used 14 pints. Now, if I have 20, and I've used 14, that tells me that I have 6 pints remaining. Now, that doesn't fully answer the question because it says how much more does she need to buy? And if she needs 14 pints and we have 6 pints, we can do 14 pints take away 6, which tells me that I need, or Lakshmi needs, 8 pints more. Okay, remember we're looking for multiple steps here. And again, there are multiple ways to solve this problem. You can do it this way, or you can do it another way. Let's try one last problem. Jack, Jill, and Bill all carried 48-ounce buckets of water down the hill. At the bottom, Jack's was only 3/4 full, Jill's was 2/3 full, and Bill's was 1/6 full. How much water did they spill all together? Now, there are two ways I can look at this problem. Well, there are more, but two main ways that I'm looking at it. If Jack had 3/4 of his bucket of water remaining, it means that he lost 1/4. Jill had 2/3, so she lost 1/3. Bill had 1/6 remaining and lost 5/6. I'm going to use what was lost because the question's asking how much water did they spill or how much did they lose altogether. Then I can work with these numbers a little bit more easily. Now when I solve for Jack, I solve that Jack lost 1/4 of 48 ounces because that's the size of the original container. And so I multiply 1/4 times 48. I cross-simplified here, and 4 goes into 48 12 times. 4 goes into 4 once, which gives me 12 ounces. When I solve for Jill, she had lost 1/3 of 48 ounces, which is the same as saying 1/3 times 48. I cross-simplify it again. 3 goes into 48 16 times. 3 goes into 3 once. 16 times 1 divided by 1 is 16, so I have 16 ounces. When we get to Bill, we see that he was rather sloppy. He lost 5/6 of 48 ounces. When we have 5/6 times 48, we can cross-simplify. 6 goes into 48 8 times, 6 goes into 6 once. 5 times 8 is then 40. Now my final step is I need to add it all together, and I see that 12 plus 16 is 28, plus 40 is 68 ounces. So they lost, or they spilled, 68 ounces altogether.